Hello, listeners. I'm Marisa,
And I'm Ariana.
and we're the Krolmeister sisters. So welcome to our podcast. As
This
a
is
reminder,
our very special podcast because we're doing it live, and therefore I'm going to be very self-conscious about everything that I do.
pretty much. Sounds good. As a reminder, this podcast is rated T for teen for strong language and mature themes.
And then drinking. And the drinks. If you want a non-mature... Well, that sounds immature. I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. If you want something that you can listen to with kids and parents in the room.
Actually.
There we go. You can go on over to her very own podcast, Unlocked.
Awesome. Okay, so what are we talking about today, sister?
Today, we are talking about 20 years of video games. Because what we're doing is we're talking about the growth of and the trends of the games as they have progressed through almost 20 years. I really didn't realize it was that long.
Weird.
1998 was when the first game came out.
I feel old.
Right? That's gross.
I'm too old for this shit.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Pretty much. It's just okay. So, where do we want to start?
Okay.
I'm just gonna put it on you. Come on.
I super appreciate that. Okay, well, let's start talking about the games as a whole. Let's, you know what? Actually, let's talk about the growth in the art style.
Yeah, I mean, we start out that very first game with literally a 3 scenery, but then like 2D people. So
like little paper cutout.
Which was super weird because we didn't play Secrets Can Kill first. We played Message in a Haunted Mansion first. So when we went and we were like, we're gonna watch all of these. We're gonna watch all of them, right? Not watch, play.
We're
We're gonna play all of them, right? So we had to go out and search for Secrets Can Kill. We really had to search for it. And when we finally got it, we put it on the computer and we're like, what the fuck is this shit? It was like this moment of like, there's nothing that we're used to.
Yeah.
We're used to like having a journal, telling a task list. We can, have like a notepad of friends we can call with their numbers. And then we get to this first game and it was just like, nope. And Nancy's not going to tell you when you do puzzles correctly. Nancy's just going to be silent. She doesn't make any sense.
You don't get any real clues. You have to suddenly realize that you're getting clues from
posters,
highlighted things and posters, and it's like, what? I enjoyed that part of it. I enjoyed that a lot. It was really fun, but I'm so glad they stopped doing that.
Because there's so many things you can miss too. Like, you can miss so many clues. And to be fair, a lot of those clues aren't like super necessary. They're like hints. But still.
Yeah.
Which is very different. Let's just talk about hints through the years. Suddenly I'm having an inspiration. We start out with just nothing other than looking at things on the walls, and we push the right buttons on the soda machine and
oh my god, that's right.
So we do that. And then present day, the most recent ones, you have an app on your phone. Nancy's phone.
Right. Yeah.
She has an app now for hints. Just super meta.
Yeah.
It's a hint hotline. I was like, I want that for real life.
Right? Can I just like have that to get through my day, please? Like, that would have been super to be like, okay, I can't reach the police about the break-in that happened at work. What should I do now? That would have been great.
Awesome. Skype is having a field day right now, sister. It's fine. It's fine. So then in the happy middle ground, well, ish, you have in the earlier games when we can get hints, we have to call our friends, and they give us completely oblique hints. They
There's
make little sense.
My favorite hint that we could not understand was that one in the end of final scene. Like, I can see your name
Name in
lighting up the
lights.
marquee.
Yeah, and we were just like, what the fuck?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? And
Am I
then,
supposed to climb out onto the side of the building? What's happening?
and then once you get into like the slightly later stuff, like let's just talk about Captive Curse, right? You can just straight up call the Hardy Boys and be like, yo, this is happening. What should I do? And then they'll just be like, you need to talk to so and so. And it's like,
You need to talk to so and so and get this.
that's
Maybe they'll have something that.
a pretty good Joe.
Thank you.
But seriously, like the hints have gone from one extreme to the other of being too hard to use to being too easy to use.
Way too direct.
Yeah, I feel like just literally having an app on my phone is just like cheating at this point. I don't have to figure out what it means because it's literally just telling me you need a key.
Like Nancy just starts like looking up walkthroughs on her phone.
That's what it's
like, all right,
like.
I did this puzzle. Oh, okay. I have to go back to the cat. And
when we figured out that, just side note, when we figured out that walkthroughs existed, our minds were blown. This was like 2004. We were just like,
this is a thing. I thought you just had to blindly keep clicking until something worked, driving yourself mad. Starting to question if the game actually broke.
Yeah, that happened a few times.
Probably doesn't help that the first game that we really played like broke while we were playing it, and so the rest of the time I was like, okay, I can't solve it. It must be broken. The game is broken. I'm not stupid. It's the game.
Speaking of feeling stupid, let's talk about puzzles.
I was gonna say that's a good segue. Stupid puzzles, not
well.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah. So in the first games, we start with puzzles that are less puzzles in a way. Like we still have like sliding puzzles and stuff to get into that box. We have, some basic logic puzzles. However, in the first few games, we get puzzles that are more like, honestly, it's about to explode. The kitchen is about to explode. Let's figure out what to put there. Or the bomb is about to go off. Which cable do you cut? And then we get into the slightly further, and we have games that are like, okay, I need to go to the fuse box and turn on the fuses so that the light
so I don't die.
So I can walk up the stairs. But that's pretty normal. That's a normal puzzle.
Yeah. And then even then when we get into the puzzle, we get, puzzle boxes.
Yeah.
We get I don't know, like we get all of the crazy stuff in shoot. How do I do this all the time? Help me, sister.
What's it about?
They're in England.
Curse of Blackmore Manor.
Curse of Blackmore Manor.
Yeah, that's the one where things start going a little weirder.
Well, at least then it's still based in real world physics. Like, okay, I am turning these knobs and therefore it opens a door. I mean, okay, we'll ignore the I actually forgot about all of the column stuff, and oh my god, never mind, I take everything back. But no,
shoving
at least some
butter into the door.
That's just practicality.
Obviously.
She's got a butter pouch. You didn't know that?
True.
There's a butter pouch in her pocket. It's it keeps it cold.
Obviously. Then once we're going further, I feel like where we start having we start going into the abstract puzzles. literally at like, I want to say Secret of the Old Clock, honestly. Is it that
Just
stupid laser mirror puzzle? Because that's not how that works. It's not how anything works.
how anything works. I want to say I started getting like weird, at least in Last Train to Blue Moon
That's what I was
Canyon,
just thinking. Like last
and
Train to Blue Moon
not
Canyon.
even just the thing on the with the lasers on the train, um, which whatever. But like there's some I don't know. There's weird stuff where it's like, but why does that work? Explain it to
I
me.
mean, I like doing things like doing the pipes. Almost is logical, except that it's between cars, so it doesn't. That's not how it works on
No,
trains. The pipes are just connected between cars. But otherwise, it's
because
almost
otherwise,
sound logic. Almost sound
then
logic.
just undoing the latch between the cars wouldn't be such an issue in movies if there were pipes connecting.
That's very true. It would also
Yeah,
just be very, I don't know, it seems dangerous because if you're like going through curves and stuff,
yeah, right.
I don't know.
It's a great way to have that shit just
Just break.
snap.
Yeah. So other than that, it's fine. But then in the most recent games, I feel like the puzzles have just been getting more and more abstract. Like they don't really make sense about what we are trying to do. Um, I don't know. Like, I don't know, playing 2048 to turn on a lighthouse.
Yeah, we're not letting go of that one anytime
I'm
soon.
really not letting go of that. Or how about literally like Shadow at Water's Edge doing the freaking
Mm-hmm.
it's the nanogram, right? At the end.
Nonogram, yes.
Nonogram, sorry. What did I say? Did I say
You
nanogram?
just said, like nanogram, and I was like, that's not right. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we do that at the end, and that doesn't make any sense. And
Yeah.
like in Ghost of Thornton Hall, we also do weird puzzles like that.
I was
They
actually thinking
shouldn't.
there is even a nonogram
Yeah,
puzzle.
there is. Yeah,
Um, for some reason.
for
I
some
don't know
reason
why
they
it's
really
there.
like them.
Like I don't disagree. I play them online. I find ones. That Shadow Water's Edge really got me into those puzzles. I was like, damn, I like this.
Yeah.
And renograms and things like that. Yeah.
Sudoku. I mean, Sudoku's always been good,
I've always liked Sudoku
except
though.
underwater Sudoku because fuck that.
Fuck
Sorry,
underwater
I
Sudoku.
can't. I'm never gonna get over that. Never gonna get over
Yes.
that.
But you have to do it in one trip and
No, thankfully it doesn't reset when we go up.
doesn't reset.
Thankfully, yeah,
Okay. I hate that game, so
yeah.
I just blank
Seriously,
it out.
pretty much.
Mhm.
Um, I think we've covered puzzles pretty well.
Yeah, I think so.
So
Throughout
let's
20 years.
20 years. Not that we've
20
been playing them for 20 years. We've only been
No,
playing them for 15,
no, longer than that, I think.
16. Yeah,
Yeah.
16.
Eh.
Uh,
The amount of time we've been playing these games, a child has been born and gotten his driver's license.
oh God.
I love thinking of time in terms of human being.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like when people were talking, when we were talking about on Tumblr about Her Interactive was advertising a game that was older, and someone
Mhm.
literally was like, "That game is old enough to be in first grade," and I was like,
Right.
"It
Yeah.
is." They're advertising it like it's new.
Right. It's ridiculous.
Fine,
But
I'm here.
anyway.
So another thing that's actually really changed to me is the length of the games,
hmm
and is to. Sorry, I got distracted.
I
Just
see
to
that.
just to preface it, we understand that, yes, of course, the older games are going to feel longer because we were younger when we played them.
Also, as previously mentioned, we didn't have, walkthroughs, so
So obviously, they were going to take longer because we were children. But I feel as though the more recent games have only been like probably 10 hours long at most.
yeah.
Like just 10 hours of content, full stop. But the older games promised 20 hours, 20 plus hours of gameplay. Obviously, we know that isn't true because there were so many shorter games like Danger on Deception Island, which we finished in 6 hours the first time. That was a very sad Christmas. We finished it before Christmas dinner. It was really kind of sad.
20 hours of gameplay, my ass. What did you say? Nothing.
I know, right?
Good shit.
Yeah. But, I mean, on one hand, it's partially because the logic in the games was so much. So, point and click games in the 90s had weird logic to it, which people refer to now as moon logic. Because, like, if you're thinking classic point and clicks like King's Quest and stuff, there were puzzles in those games where if you didn't have the walkthrough, you couldn't play the game. There was no way of doing it because human brains don't work like that. Because that's not real logic. That's moon logic. So in like the first few games, we have some moments that are like that, honestly. But other than that, like it started getting better pretty quickly, I feel. Like once we get into, I want to say Secret of Shadow Ranch is where we kind of go into more straightforward stuff. You're less likely to break the game. We've broken the games.
Yeah. Can't do anything. I did the wrong thing.
I just keep dying from this bomb. There's nothing I can do because I didn't pick up the wire cutters 3 hours ago.
Nancy's stuck in purgatory. She's gonna keep exploding over and over.
Like, honestly, that's when we learned the value of having clean saves.
Yeah.
Not just working in one save game. Because we had to play all over again, and then we were yelling at Millie in the crap room. We were just
Millie didn't deserve our hate. Millie, I swear to God.
I swear to God, you're gonna fucking let me in now.
It's a sponge.
Yeah.
Just imagining Nancy like barking the answers so that I know she writes them down, but I'm imagining her going, "It's a sponge, Millie, okay?"
Yeah, that was us. Or the time that we broke Secret of the Scarlet Hand so hard that we just couldn't do anything because it's like we called someone too early. And
yeah, we called what's his name, Rose.
Franklin Rose before we talked to.
I just kept trying to call him Pete Rose over and over again in my head. That's not it.
We talked to him before. We talked to like Prudence Rutherford or something, and it completely broke the game.
That was great.
It was awesome.
Because we totally liked that game anyways, right?
We really, really wanted to play it again. We loved playing it from the beginning.
Oh. I need more drink, but there's no boyfriend here to get it for me.
I know.
He's really laying down on the job.
You should. Do you have your phone? Just text him. Hey, drink winch.
Swear to God, if he comes out wearing a bustier, I'm gonna.
Okay, right. The games.
Yeah.
Now you guys see how much I have to edit out of the podcast.
Yeah. You thought we didn't edit any of it out. You thought we kept all of it in. Nope. No, that's just the stuff that we think is okay to leave.
Right.
We get really off topic here. It's fine.
It's fine. We're still we were talking about game length. So the later games end up having more. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong screen. So the later games have more hints and stuff, which helps us go through them quicker. but I feel like there's just less dialogue. So the fact that we can skip through dialogue we've heard already really helps.
It does.
Is that something I really enjoy about the new ones? Because it took way too long for that feature to happen, because I don't want to listen to someone tell me the same thing 5 million times.
I know. Yeah, I really appreciate that feature a lot. Since I have zero patience for it.
The fact that it took until freaking Ghost of Thornton Hall for that drives me nuts, because playing Shadow at Water's Edge, when you've played Shadow at Water's Edge before,
listening
and having to talk to Decay, oh my god, she drives me crazy.
She talks so slowly.
So, the newer games do have convenience. Convenience helps.
Convenience is good.
Yes, but it is also sad because they realize that they have shorter games, I feel, and that's why there are so many more mini games.
Yeah.
Like, I just, Sea of Darkness was such a game that really showed that to me, because it was like, you had the learning Icelandic thing, you had the making food, then you had all of the stuff she had on her phone, which there was an entire mini game thing on her phone, and it was like,
look, you know all those mini games that we made you play in the previous games? Look, you can play them on Nancy's phone. You get to play them.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for Her Interactive to realize that we all want a mobile app.
Yeah.
I want to be able to play some of these games on my phone.
Yeah.
I would honestly maybe even pay them $1.99 for that app.
What?
Which is more than I've spent on Nancy Drew games in several years. So, come on. Her Interactive, I am giving you these ideas. Just
right?
I am gifting them to you.
Putting them on a platter.
Exactly. Right.
We were talking about lengths, but I feel like you've gone on enough about that.
Yes.
Plots. Because, like, you know, it's because of the plots.
So, in the beginning games, the plots were pretty straightforward for the most part. I mean, there's always convoluted shit because it's mystery. And the inventor of that stupid shit was freaking Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. You know? Yeah. Of the complete bullshit mystery stuff. That's just, it was him. I blame him completely. But Agatha Christie did not help.
No. She perpetuated it.
Though she also liked to take everything that he did and make fun of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I quite enjoy that. But as the games have gone on, I feel like the plots have gotten less focused.
No.
I mean,
come on. I didn't keep forgetting halfway through what we were supposed to be accomplishing in, like, Shattered Medallion.
Shattered Medallion made no sense. Ariana is, like, the only person who likes the Shattered Medallion. And even she can admit that it makes zero sense. It makes
no sense. There is no plot to that.
There's no plot.
There's no plot.
There's nothing there.
But yeah, I don't even thoroughly remember the plots of okay, no wait, that's not true. I do kind of remember the plot of Labyrinth of Lies, because it was just super convoluted.
It was very Murder on the Orient Express. Which, if you remember correctly, I called that from the beginning. Like, within 2 hours of starting that game, I called it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is...
But yeah, so
I don't remember what we do in
Sea of Darkness.
Sea of Darkness, thank you.
Okay.
I've even played that one several times.
Yeah, I played it the once.
He went missing. That's what I remember.
Yeah, he went
Uh,
missing.
the motives go a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
But to be fair, motives have been fuzzy for a while.
Like,
I mean, let's just go Curse of Blackmore Manor.
I don't know
Why
the
was she gaslighting her? Like,
because she didn't like her. I don't. And what did
why did
the family
Jane?
cult have to do with it? And I
know.
don't understand.
Her
Why
little
was it
clock
ritualistic
mixes.
why was it ritualistic when it's alchemy and
I don't.
and
Yeah, exactly. So the plots have always been a little fuzzy. Motives have always been very, very fuzzy. But
yeah.
they've gotten more so lately.
Mm.
I don't know. Actually, you know what? No, motives have always been. That's
I
something
was
that's
gonna say
remained
this is
pretty
something
constant.
that's remained.
That's
Yeah,
been
it's kind of
constant. Like there are very few games where I can look at it and be like, yes, that motive makes sense. Because honestly, I don't remember why most people did the things. Final scene, that one makes sense.
yes. It's depressing, but it makes sense.
Um mm, see, there
Um,
I go. That's the only one I can think of.
I mean, I guess that like some of them make sense if you're a crazy person. Like, I'm going to pretend the ryokan is haunted so that I can
So I can
make
that's just abusive.
crazy. No, it makes sense. If I make it haunted, then they'll have to shut it down.
And then she'll be free to move away with me. Honestly, yeah,
Why
that
was your
does.
first
What
why
was
was
that?
haunting?
Why not just straight up sabotage? Haunting?
You
Yeah.
can't just like,
You want to terrorize your girlfriend about her dead mother?
like what the fuck are you trying to do here, buddy?
Honestly. So
Let's
the
go. We can
plots,
leave this place behind.
from the beginning to the end, the plots have been a little murky, to be fair. We're putting that out there. That's something the new games have not changed. They're all just as murky.
Everything's murky.
Characters, though.
Character.
That's another thing where it's like, I feel like the amount of characters have been pretty much the same since the
Yeah, for
start.
the
Like,
most
we
part.
have usually between 3 and 5 suspects.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Except for
the anomaly, fucking ransom of the 7 goddamn ships.
I fucking hate that game. I'm so vehement about this
What
game.
do you mean it's the only person on the island?
I'm so shocked. That is the only other person on the island.
It wasn't the monkeys? It wasn't the pirate ghost?
That one pisses me off as much as the original Secrets Can Kill pisses me off.
Yeah.
But in like the opposite way. Where it's like Secrets Can Kill. We have no fucking clue who that guy is until he shows up with a gun. Or, Ransom of the Seven Ships, where we know who the guy was the whole time. He's right there. Nancy doesn't give a shit.
Right there. Just make him tell you where Bess is.
Literally just look under his shit. She's right there. That's the first thing I would have done as Nancy. I would have been like, hey, only other dude on the island. I'm just gonna fucking handcuff you. Because if I was Nancy, I would carry handcuffs everywhere. Because I have to deal with enough criminals that I'm just gonna, or at least zip ties.
Like, how many times do you have to be attacked before you just, like, okay, you cannot choke me to death, Andy Jason, because you are attached to that railing there.
No. Andy Jason. Sorry.
That's another one where motives are a little murky.
Yeah.
Like,
Did he? I just still, it doesn't make sense.
We're gonna die for smuggling things from ships that have crashed, and he's working with the Russians.
Okay, did he come upon this plan because he worked at this he has the whale museum? Was he just so into whales that he couldn't think of another possible way to do this thing? He's like, well, I know about whales, so We're gonna go with that.
In the words of a great museum curator, who knows?
I hate her so much.
I hate it.
Okay. So,
That is
characters.
Good beer. It is suddenly hitting me.
It's just hitting you. Oh, well, my 101 proof whiskey.
Your cheeks are going all pink.
I know.
I'm gonna text him.
You're gonna text him. Okay, sounds good.
Keep talking.
Characters, right? Even though it feels like there's the same amount of characters for things, I feel like the characters have gotten more in depth as it's gone on.
Yeah.
Like our characters have more of a backstory to them. Because yeah, sure, a lot of them do in the in select games, in the first few games. We have people who have, good backstory and stuff. So like honestly, Final Scene is a great one for characters.
Yeah.
Because we have people with good backstories. We have, even Brady has a good backstory, honestly.
Yeah.
But then
honestly, the only one without a good backstory in that is Simone, and it's fine.
She doesn't need a backstory. She doesn't need to disclose her backstory to you because it is not important at the moment.
It is not your business.
Exactly. So, but then you go to let's think just Treasure in a Royal Tower, and it's like, the only person with a backstory there is Dexter. He's the only one. He has a good backstory, but no one else really makes. Jacques has a good backstory, but it's just not. I mean, there is a backstory. It's not a good backstory. And Lisa doesn't make any sense whatsoever as a character.
And Professor Hotchkiss is a great character, but there is no context to her. We don't know.
I'm fine with that. I am fine with Hotchkiss in zero context. I don't need context for Hotchkiss.
No context Hotchkiss. It's my new Tumblr. Out of context Hotchkiss.
Okay. Do it. It is a Krolmeister Sisters project that will be underway soon. Got for it.
Trademarked.
But the more recent ones, I feel like the characters have more depth to them. And honestly, that's starting around, I want to say, there are some really good things, starting with I completely forgot all of the games in the middle area right now. Gone. But even just Shadow at Water's Edge. Shadow at Water's Edge has really good. I bring that one up all the time because it's a good game.
Honestly, I think that when they started really getting into backstory is probably around Haunted Carousel, when the entire point of the game was delving into the forgotten past of that annoying little bitch.
I hate Joy so much. Joy is the worst character in that thing.
Joy, more like melodramatic.
Yeah, am I right? That's another emotion. Right?
I feel like you're making fun of me, and I don't appreciate it.
A tiny bit. Just a tiny bit.
I'm very attacked right now.
Good for you. But honestly, that's like a blip. That one. All those other ones, no backstory. I mean, let's just talk Ghost Dogs of Moonlight. Well, that's before. Even just Shadow Ranch. As much as I love Shadow Ranch, there's what is Shorty doing there? Who knows? Shorty just lives there.
Who knows?
Dave? Nothing to Dave. He's just a cute cowboy. That's all he's there for.
But his mama raised him right. And, And, do you have a steady back home?
And honestly, Tex and Mary have the potential of being great characters, but then there's no context to them.
No.
Whatsoever.
It's they were high school sweethearts. They've been We could have had all that. We don't have any context to them. Nothing. It's just they're romantic. It's whatever.
I apologize if you guys hear my upstairs neighbors. I am in a noise war with them. So I apologize.
Noise war. I don't get in noise wars with neighbors. I win.
But yes, characters have way more depth now. So that's something I really enjoy about the progression of the games, is that they do have a lot more depth. Like even Shattered Medallion.
I was
like
getting
we
ready to
learn
say.
all about Lena. Not Lena. Lena? Lena.
Yeah.
And Patrick. We learn about Patrick. We know about his parents and his family. We know about Sunny's past. We don't know anything about Kiri, but I don't really care to know anything about Kiri.
No. I'm good with her staying as far away from me as possible. She's scary.
She is. She's pretty scary, yeah.
No me gusta.
Pretty much. But yeah. So I feel like over the course of the last 20 years almost, while we've seen a very big difference of things.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen plots stay the same pretty much. The length seems to be going down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
The logic of the game seems to be better now, which is good. So it's less bang your head into a wall.
Oh, you mean of doing things?
Yeah,
I was like, I thought that we agreed that these are pretty convoluted.
The puzzles get worse, in my opinion. But other people can disagree because other people like playing 20 and 48 to turn on a lighthouse. And I'm not going to judge them for that. Because to be fair, I like Fox and Geese.
Yes.
Unpopular opinion right there. Fox and Geese is fun.
It's great.
I play it even when I don't have to.
Yeah. Just sit down and play.
That's how I make friends.
Yeah.
And
that just reminded me of us teaching teaching the kids in junior theater how to play Scopa.
Yep, we that is something we've told everyone before.
Yes, it is, but it reminded me.
Yes.
Cheers.
But yes, and we feel like character development has gotten better through the years. So that is our talk about the growth and trends of the games in the last 20 years. So
32 games, 20 years.
That's a lot of games.
Maybe by the actual 20-year anniversary, we'll have a 33rd game. Wouldn't that be great? Since we should have had like 5 games by now.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to let that go.
No.
So breathe in positivity, breathe out negativity. But I tell the people when I guide them in meditation. So, yep, exactly. So, this has been this episode. I am still Risa.
Well, okay. Let us know what you think.
Oh, I guess. Whatever.
Do you guys agree with us? Do you have any other insights that you would like to shower us with? The beer just...
Yeah. Yep. You know, anything you think we've missed, anything you think we're wrong about, just let us know, and we will maybe agree with you, to be honest.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe. Who knows?
Who knows? So I'm still Risa.
And I'm Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister sisters, and we're asking you guys to stay sleuthy.